Hi everyone, I'm coming back as I promised that I was going to show you, hi Fred, show you how I take my Vitamix and I grind the grains into flour. I'm going to make some rice flour and I'm going to make some oat flour. And here you can see that I have a cup of, I'll put this down a little bit. That I have a cup of long grain brown rice. I'm going to put it in my Vitamix, and see now it's long grain. And then the next thing you're going to see is you're going to see it ground into flour. Hi to all those coming in early. I'm just putting my rice in the Vitamix, and I'm showing everybody. Now this could probably be done in another blender, like a Blendtec or a high power blender, but it seems to work really, really well in the Vitamix. Oh, well, I don't have any wheat berries, but I will get some of those someday. All I have is rice and oats right now. And I'm going to turn the Vitamix on. I'm going to start it on low. Put myself over here. I'm going to start it on low, and then I'm going to ramp it up on high, and you can watch it grind into flour, and I will show you what it looks like when it's done. As you can see, look at the consistency. Isn't that cool? This is the rice flour. Now I'm going to pour it into my container that I have the rest of the rice flour in. I probably could sift it, but I don't really think I'm going to have to because it seems to be that it ground it pretty fine. And I can always sift it before I use it. That's what I'm going to do. I won't sift it now, but I'll sift it before I'm ready to use it. And if I need to get the chunks out, I can do that. I want to get this all out of here, so when I put the oats in here, they don't go together. It's kind of hard to get it all out from underneath the blade. And somebody was asking before on the other Periscope that if it dulls the blades. These blades on the Vitamix are naturally dull. And the thing that is, you aren't going to harm them. This Vitamix takes a lot from things you put into it. You can't ruin the Vitamix on blades like this. You can't, because and see how it did. Well, there's a few little chunks at the top, but look at that. See how it made it. Now that one's done. Now I'm going to go and do the oatmeal. And I'll get a cup of oats. In fact, I started with a cup of rice, and I'm also going to start with a cup of oats. Now this is quick oats. You could probably use any oats that you want. I'm using just a cup. Putting it in here. Doing the same thing with that as I did with the rice. And you can watch it grind that. And it's amazing how it takes it and grinds it right into, it almost looks like a powder. Do the same thing. I'm going to start it on hot. Oh, whoops, I put my lid on. I got to make sure the lid's down tight because we don't want anything to happen. Oh, there we go. All right, now I'm going to start it on high and variable speed. Start it lower here. Raise it up to high. The thing of it is, you don't need to run it too awful long because they'll heat up. The grains will heat up, and you don't need it heating up and getting them real hot. So I'm not. This is the one I have that flour. As you can see, this is a real fine consistency as well. Pour this in here. Like I said, I start with a cup at a time. I don't want to overdo it. I don't want to use too much at a time because you could put a strain on the blades if you put too much in there. I've seen people use 2 and 3 cups, but I think a cup is just right. And all I have to do is just rinse this out to wash it out. That's got a few chunks in it, but I can run it through the sifter the next time. But as you can see, look. See? You see it's a fine consistency. That's how you do it in the Vitamix. And like I said, Blendtec and other ones might do the same way. I don't really know. A food processor, you possibly could make flour in the food processor as well. I have a food processor. I'm not really hankered to try it in there because it does really well in the Vitamix. I used quick oats. I have a thing of quick oats that I used. You can use any oats that you want, because I think they're all going to basically be the same anyway, because they're all going to end up coming into grind them into flour. They're going to be a fine consistency. As you can see, the rice flour is a fine consistency, and so is the oat flour. It's in fine consistency. Now I have enough to last for a while. So I have recipes that call for rice flour and oat flour, and I'll be able to. Yes, that's true. You're probably right. It'll cause too much heat. So I just use a cup at a time to make it, because by the time you get done, a cup is going to make about 3/4 probably of flour. And there's plenty in here right now that my recipes call for rice flour or oat flour. I won't have to grind any for a while. I'll have to buy some rice again. But I bought a thing of quick oats for about 99 cents, I think it was, and keep this container. That keeps the moths and stuff away from it, because you know how moths like to get into the, and this is an airtight container. I'll show you the container I keep my oats in. This is an airtight container, and they can't get under there. Anyway, I ground enough for a while, and I won't have to grind any for a while. But you know, the oats are cheap, and so is the rice. To buy it in the store, it's real cheap. It's a lot cheaper than buying your flour. You know, a price flour, and it's expensive. You know, 5 pounds of flour, maybe $8 or something like that. Well, grind your own. You can get a lot of flour out of your grains like that. You saw me get a lot of flour out of those cups of oats and out of rice. And one of these times I'm gonna make some almond flour too, because it's quite expensive in the store. I saw it, but I don't have the proper almonds for that. You need the blanched almonds, like the ones that are slivers. That's what you need to make the almond flour. So I'll have to get some of those to make the almond flour. But for right now, I just wanted to make the rice flour and the oat flour, because I use those in my recipes. And I came in here to show other people that you could make your own flour too if you've got the proper blender, or you have a nice food processor. Like I said, food processor would probably work too. It would make it, you know, it wouldn't take very long. You might have to take a spatula on the sides and go down the sides and everything, but you could see how this did a real good job, and it ground it down like it's supposed to be, the consistency it's supposed to be. Like I said, I'm going to have, when I, a recipe, I'm going to have to sift the flour. Get a cup or whatever it needs for the recipe and sift it so make sure there's no chunks in it. But I'd rather do that when I use it as to now. But that is simple enough to do. Make your own food. You're going to be better off, because it'll cost you a lot less, and you won't have to worry. Welcome to those just now coming in. And if this is my rice flour, I just ground a bunch of rice flour, and I just ground some oat flour. And out of quick oats, and I had some brown rice. And the brown rice I was using is organic. I don't think I have, no, I haven't got it sitting out here. It's, I've put it away, but it's long grain brown rice. I think I can show it to you. This I had bought a while back. I got this at one of the other stores. I didn't get this at Walmart, but it's non-GMO. It's gluten-free, and it's organic. And this, I heard that this is supposed to be a very good brand. But I started using it for recipes, and I thought, well, shoot, it's real good to make flour out of. It's simple enough. And like I said, rice itself is not that expensive. You buy a good-sized bag of it, maybe a couple bucks or something. You don't have to pay that much for the rice. You get a lot of flour out of that. Take a cup at a time. That's all you need, just a cup at a time. And when your flour is gone after you've done your recipe, you made and you used it up, then make some more. That's why I'm keeping some on hand. And this won't go bad. That's one thing we don't have to worry about flour. It'll go bad. Keep it in an airtight container. It'll be just fine. That's what I intend to do. Just keep it in that airtight container, and I'll always have it. That's why I came in here. I promised you I was going to show you how to make some rice flour and some oat flour, and so that you can do it too. Try it in your food processor and see if it will work. If you don't have a Blendtec, you don't have a Vitamix. I know there are some in here that do have a Vitamix. Try it in your Vitamix. If you've got the dry grain container, it will work in that as well. Because like I said, I don't have the dry grain container. I've never thought about that, but you're probably right. Yeah, I suppose it would. It would keep it a lot longer. You know, but these are airtight containers. These are real tight containers. That's why I buy that kind of stuff. So they're now nothing can get into them or anything like that. And as you notice, this is a glass container. This is plastic, but I'm gonna try to maybe transfer that later to glass. I don't have too many glass containers, but you know, if you make your own, you're gonna be better off. Well, with rice flour, I did make yesterday. I think I still have some left. They're crumbling up, but I'll show you. What I did made out of rice flour is I made some oatmeal. Or, no, excuse me. I made carob chip peanut butter cookies, and they're almost gone. There's a recipe that I want to make that Erlene put on Facebook that's just for carob chip with no peanut butter in it. I want to make that. It's a little bit different recipe, but that called for a 1/4 cup plus a tablespoon of rice flour. Yes, carob. I bought some carob chips at through Amazon. I'm getting some of the carob powder today because we're not allowed to have the regular chocolate, but the carob is just fine because it's vegan. Yeah, so instead of white flour, yes. The only flour that I did buy the other day at Walmart was the all-purpose flour, in case I ever need it. So I bought that, but other than that, I'm going to start taking grains like rice and oats and that stuff and making my own flour. That way I'll have it on hand because I've been making so many recipes lately and finding so many recipes to make that I need to have this stuff on hand, you know. And when I told my son about the things I'm making, he says, "Oh, you're vegan now, Mom?" I says, "Yeah." He thinks that's real good because since my daughter-in-law had breast cancer a few years back, they became vegan too. Well, not vegan, vegetarians. They're not complete vegan because she still eats eggs. They don't drink milk, but they do eat cheese and stuff like that. I'm hoping to get them out of that. My son knows he shouldn't be having it, but I intend to make some of the stuff that I've been making for you guys and take it in for Thanksgiving meal and see what they think of it. You know, my vegan stuff. It's going to be quite different, I'm sure. Don't know if people are going to like it or not, but they'll have to learn to like it, you know. They're good. I know what's in it. I don't have to guess. So it's just coming in. Here is my rice that I took and made flour out of, and here's my oats that I took and made. These are quick oats that I took and made flour out of in my vitamix. As you can see, it's a real simple process. It doesn't take very long, and I'm glad that I have the vitamix for this. I mean, it does so many things. You know, when I realized it could make flour, it could grind your grains and stuff, I says, wow. You know, and like I said, somebody was concerned about the blades, but the blades never go bad. You know, you can't. They're automatically dull to begin with, so they stay that way. So you can't ruin the blades at all. You know, this Vitamix is strong. It's tough. You can put a lot through it. I mean, you put frozen foods in there, and it has to chop those frozen foods up, and that's really tough on blades. You know, like strawberries or blueberries or a real heavy fruit like a pineapple that might be frozen. It goes and chops that things up fine. So there's no problem whatsoever. You just got to be careful that when you use your Vitamix, and I've seen people that'll use their Vitamix and fill it full of food but not have enough liquid, and then they overheat it. Oh, I didn't see what your I'll have to go back and watch your I missed what your comment was, but it's really simple, you know. And I'm gonna have to get me some more rice again and keep the oatmeal on hand, the quick oats, because I've got recipes for just the oats itself. But now that I'm making more recipes with flour and stuff, you know, and I'm going to find more recipes. Maybe I'll make something again tomorrow if I can find something. But I like to share my knowledge with other people so that they can share it with other people too. It goes right on down. It's like a snowball effect, you know. What I share, others learn. You know, hi, good to see you. Welcome. You learn from me, and I continue to learn from other people as well. You know, and that's why I'm doing this, because I want everybody to learn how to do things for themselves. Not always spend your money on buying things unnecessarily. Don't buy flour, make your own. Don't buy burgers, make your own. Don't buy cookies and cakes and stuff, make your own. Oh, yes. Oh, I'm glad I did too. Thank you. You're welcome. Hi, good to see you. Yeah, white rice is not as good for you. It doesn't have the nutrients in it, so you shouldn't be eating anything with white rice. It should basically be brown rice solely. So that's what I do. Is when I buy rice, it has to be brown rice. And next time I go to the Walmart, I'm going to buy you a big bag of brown rice. Yeah, yes, I could. I could make. I haven't learned how to do that yet, but I can do that eventually. But there's so many things I haven't learned yet. I'm learning by doing. That's what they say. You learn by doing. As I do it, I learn more and more and more. And I hope to keep learning more too, and just keep doing and helping other people along the way. That's what I'm trying to do. Help you along the way too. So if I can save anybody money by them making their own grains or making their own flours out of grain, I'm glad to do it. Taking cookies, muffins, cakes, or whatever, making it yourself, making it vegan, or cheeses and things like that, mayo. I'm glad to do that as well, because we need to get on a plant-based diet. It's very, very important, because our bodies are not meant for some of the foods that are out there, the processed foods and all the bad stuff. We shouldn't be putting that stuff in our body. The meats, the milk, processed foods. Just stay away from them. Just buy stuff to make your own foods. You're gonna be, and I'm a lot. Hi, good to see you. No, I didn't get a different light. I just turned my lights on because it'll be getting dark here pretty soon. So I wanted to make it a little lighter in here. No, I've got a fluorescent light and I've got a chandelier. They're both on, but hi, good to see you. Oh, it seems brighter. Well, it probably will now that it's trying to get darker. No, it's not brighter. It's the same as it was before, but I thought I'd better put some light on so you can see. But anyway, when you make your own food, you know what's in it, and you can have it for a long. There are flours you can have for a long time. Oh, wow! Nairobi, Kenya, Africa. Welcome. How do you get your bread? Well, you can make bread too. I haven't done that yet, but you can make your own bread as well. Stacy Klein from Our Plant-Based Bunch, she makes her own bread out of einkorn wheat. There's a website called einkorn.com. That's where she gets her wheat from, and she makes her bread from that. She's got recipes on her website, Our Plant-Based Bunch, where you can make different vegan foods. I've made a few of her recipes already. But I haven't made my own bread yet. No, I buy bread right now. I probably try to buy organic bread. But I'm trying to eat bread sparingly. I'm trying to do that sparingly if at all possible. Yes, it is. It really is. We just have to make sure, because like I said, organic isn't for everyone, because not everybody can afford organic, because it can be quite expensive. And it isn't real cheap for me either. And I'm glad that I can buy some organic. I see we got a bot in here. I didn't take care of that one, but you have to report that one, and I'll take care of it later. But like I said, organic is not for everybody because it is expensive, But it's better for you if you can buy organic. Do that. I try to buy organic as much as possible. Although not everything I have or everything I make is organic, as I can't always afford it because I'm on a fixed income right now. And I'm limited because I need to get my 2-bedroom side on the rental. It's a duplex, get it rented, and I'm not getting any money off of it right now. I'm on the other side, so I have to be real careful. I have to use my money sparingly. But right now, that's why I'm making my own foods to help cut back on my grocery bill. It'll be cut back tremendously. I won't have to go out and buy so much. Just buy the ingredients to make the food is all. But I don't, Make your own food, and you'll be a lot better off. I don't need this kind of thing in here, please. Be respectful. That person's not very respectful. And I'm going to try to make more recipes as time goes on. I'm going to try to find more recipes to make, because I have fun looking for recipes. It's a lot of fun. Like I said, a lot of the recipes out there on the internet, you have to tweak them because they're not necessarily going to be the way that you like them. There may be something in there that you won't put into it, or there may be something that you want to put into it. Yeah, I know. Isn't it, Arlene, though? It's a lot of fun. But the recipes may have something in it that you don't want to put in there. You can substitute it. or there may be something you want to put into it that isn't in it. You can tweak it and make it all your own. I live in Oregon, so oh, thanks for the super hearts. Thank you so much. So that's why I do that. You know, I'm finding that making my own food is a lot of fun. Finding recipes, so trying to find things to make is a lot of fun. I can look for hours to find the right recipe because, like I said earlier, the simpler, the better. I don't like anything that's real, you know, complicated. I like stuff that's simple. If it doesn't have a lot of ingredients in it, in the recipe, and I can make it, I'll go ahead and do it. I don't like these ones with long lists of ingredients, but I love doing things, and now that I've got the Vitamix, it seems like I'm cooking more than ever. Before that, I didn't cook quite as much. You know, I was kind of lazy and didn't want to cook, but now I'm having the best time ever cooking these recipes, finding recipes and sharing these recipes with you on Facebook and on YouTube, you know, and getting the message out. I'm hoping that the message goes far and wide, because we need to get this out, you know, because we all need to be healthy. And I'm trying to help those that are on meat to get off of it too. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I really am having a lot of fun. It is a blast. It really is. I'll go on YouTube in the morning after I get done reading my Bible and stuff, and the first thing I'll try to find is recipes for that day. Now, I'm not going to find a recipe every day. I know that. But I certain things I want to make. If I see Erlene made something, then I'll try to find something similar to it that she made that I want to make, or try to find the same thing that she's made, you know. But I enjoy looking for recipes and having the fun trying to tweak them and making them my own, because that's what the thing about it. You can take the recipes and make them your own. You don't necessarily have to follow it to the letter. Now, most of the time I do, especially if I can use all the ingredients in there. I will follow it to the letter. Now, the in recipes out there that call for the baking soda and baking powder, that's where I'm going to use the energy that I showed in the last Periscope, where the baking powder substitute and baking soda substitute. I will use that. And it says right on the back of the can to use twice as much regular baking powder. Well, hi, and baking soda. Hi, Zim girl, welcome. Than regular. So if it calls for a teaspoon in a regular recipe, you'd use 2 teaspoons. So you just have to double it, because it is a substitute. Because you don't want to put that stuff in your body. It's aluminum. It's not good for you. So all I did today, well, I made vegan cream cheese earlier. So you watched that Periscope from earlier. But what I did now is I ground some rice, made rice flour, and I ground some oats, and I made oat flour, quick oats. So you can see there's my oat flour. So that's basically all I've done this time. Because I had one of my viewers on yesterday's Periscope asked me if I would show how to make the rice flour. So I thought, well, I might as well show how to make the oat flour while I'm at it too. And I've got a Vitamix. All I do is I put a cup of oats in there, or a cup of rice in there, and let it do its job. No, I don't have an Instant Pot. I do have a food processor. This is the canister for the food processor. I use it a little bit. Sometimes I find when I make my own peanut butter, the food processor is a little bit better to make it in, because it's hard to get it out of the Vitamix container when you make. Although it does make good creamy peanut butter in the Vitamix, but it's a lot easier to get it out of the canister on the food processor, because you don't have your blade to deal with. So but I haven't been making much lately. I've been buying the natural and been using that. So, because I like the taste of it. But hi, good to see you, welcome. But I do like coming in here and sharing my knowledge with other people, such as it is. I don't have a lot of knowledge, but I'm learning right along with you. You know, it's a learning process. It's something that I want to keep on doing. I'm on this journey, and I want to keep on going. And I'm thankful that you guys come in here and support me, because this helps me keep me on my journey. Keeps me on the straight and narrow. Keeps me focused, because that's what I need to do, is stay focused. But I think I'm going to go for now, because I want to start looking for some more recipes. But I thank you all for coming in and sharing this Periscope with me, and watching me make these flours. So now you know how to do it yourself. It's real simple. Like I said, if you have a food processor, just put a cup of oats or a cup of rice in it and just let it go. You may have to take a spatula in your food processor and get it off the sides. Well, you see with the Vitamix, I didn't have to do that. But, you know, if you've got a Vitamix, it makes it in there just beautifully. So, But I'm going to go for now, and I may come on tomorrow and I may not. Depends on if I find another recipe or not. But I'll keep on looking, and if I don't come on tomorrow, you'll see me when I see me. So I thank you all for coming on and sharing this, and I hope you have a great night or day wherever you might be. Take care. God bless, and bye-bye.